Can you confirm with News Nation that you're running for president?
Boy, that would be a nice confirmation. There'd be a lot of people that would be very upset about that. But I think you're going to be very happy. I think people are going to be very happy at what I do. I was going to do something last night, actually, that would have made the place really happy. And so we're doing it a few days later. And I think people are going to be very happy, very impressed.
To your predecessor, who is about to launch another campaign. So how do you reassure them if that is the reason for their questioning, that the former president will not return, or that his political movement, which is still very strong, will not once again take power in the United States?
Well, we just have to demonstrate that he will not take power.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
There's breaking news out of Palm Beach, Florida. Former President Trump says his Mar-a-Lago home there is being raided by the FBI.
For the first time ever, a former president of the United States has been indicted.
Former President Donald Trump indicted for a second time.
A federal grand jury indicted former President Donald Trump. It marks the third time the former president has been indicted.
Breaking news on former President Trump. He's been indicted for the fourth time in 5 months.
Breaking news, this is an image that will be in the history books. This is the mugshot of the 45th President of the United States.
The optics of this is working to his advantage. Look.
Breaking news from Colorado, where the state Supreme Court has just disqualified former President Donald Trump.
Donald Trump found guilty on all 34 felony counts.
The total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Take a look at what happened.
The next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
I proudly accept your nomination for president of the United States.
Let Trumpomania run wild, brother!
So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
Investigation underway after the second assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump.
As I was saying,
as you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA.
Get in there.
Let's go! I want to be a whale psychiatrist.
I'm going for a job right now at McDonald's. I really wanted to do this all my life.
I've now worked for 15 minutes more than Kamala.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
Here are our first projections. There, NBC News projects that Donald Trump has won the presidential election in Kentucky, Indiana. In West Virginia, Donald Trump is the winner. Florida, Tennessee, Missouri, Alabama, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Arkansas, Texas, North Dakota, South Dakota. NBC News also projects a winner in the Wyoming presidential race, Mississippi, Louisiana, Ohio, Kansas, Utah, Montana, Iowa, the state of Nebraska in the presidential contest, Idaho. The first swing state is North Carolina, going to Donald Trump. Donald Trump has prevailed in the presidential race in Georgia. Pennsylvania. NBC now projects he is the winner of Michigan and its 15 electoral votes.
Donald Trump is the winner in Alaska, picking up 3 more electoral votes.
Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin. He is the winner of this race and will return to the White House as this country's 47th president.
Hey, look what happened. Is this crazy?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage of the 199. Happy to see all of you here tonight. And look, I've missed all of you. So I'm just going to bless all of you right now, ladies and gentlemen. because I've missed you.
I'm so happy you love the first drop of my collection of Frankie's bikinis. We have more dreamy pieces coming our way, so tap to sign up for early access so you can get more information. I'm so happy you love the first drop of my collection of Frankie's bikinis. We have more dreamy pieces coming our way, so tap to sign up for early access so you can get more information.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump has done it. Donald Trump promised the golden age of America, and we have it now. It's official. Sydney Sweeney is single again. Now, I'm off the market, okay? But I have it on good authority that Sydney Sweeney is a fan of CobraCast, and she will consider whoever sends the biggest super chat. I'm just saying, okay? She will consider the 5 biggest super chats. She will take them under consideration. What a pathetic grift. What a pathetic grift. How much more low can you get? Like, how much worse can you get? That is pathetic. And I am here for it, baby. All right? But anyway, hope you're all doing well today. We have a lot to talk about for sure. We've got JMNZZ450. Says, random racist joke. Assassin's Creed with the story set in Japan during World War II. It could be deep fried. End of racist joke. Have a great day. JMNZZ450. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Dougie B for 50 says, okay, that's worth a 50. Thanks, Jeremy. Hail to you. Hail to you. Thank you, Dougie B. Good to see you here, brother. Dark Schwartz rising with 5 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. AOE2 Freak says, hail, Jeremy in the chat. The fact that this cast exists is a white pill about culture and the future. Thank you. I appreciate that. Crazy Clown Town says you can show off the gift. I will catch it on the replay. Well, not to be, I don't want to give away too information here, but I've been very busy in and out of the hospital since my last CobraCast. Not for me, but because of family. So if I'm not working on videos, I'm kind of back and forth. So my apologies for not getting to that yet. But not for me, but you know, obviously I've said a little bit on previous streams. So it's been a busy few days, and it will continue to be that way, unfortunately. So let's see here. Mr. Deep Sea says, Jeremy drives a gay man Chevy, 100% bottom energy. Hey, my Denali will kick your Chevy's ass. But my Mustang will smoke whatever you're driving. I promise you that. Piano Dean says, breaking news, Nickelback breathes sigh of relief as 80s metal group Tesla, now world's most hated band. Eric K says, I heard Sydney would consider anyone who insults you the best. And she's got a lot to pick from around here then. Got a lot to pick from. 8 o'clock says, Jeremy, you need to watch The Apprentice Season 4, Episode 8. It's a crazy Star Wars time capsule where Lucasfilm worked with Trump on Episode 3 marketing. Really? I don't remember that. I'm still in, I think I'm still in Season 1 because I just have not had a lot of free time. I have been trying to watch through The Apprentice right now. That is crazy that Lucasfilm worked with Trump. I mean, if you watch it, though, I mean, again, if you've watched The Apprentice, like, it is really kind of fascinating. It's amazing to watch it, considering how they, and Elon's going through the same thing right now, as a matter of fact. Forest of the Trees says it's time for all you Sydney Sweeney fans to become Gundam fans if you're not already. She's about to be cast in a live-action Gundam movie. Is that true? I haven't heard that, but that would sell some tickets. That would certainly sell some tickets. Christian Rocker says, I'm happy to say Jack Posobiec blocked me because I said he has a dumb pop culture takes. That's hilarious. I saw your tag earlier. He certainly does. He certainly does. By the way, I've been noticing this. Not that I really ever have paid attention. I don't really pay attention to my Twitter followers, but I don't think I'm ever going to break 100,000 followers. I've been sitting at like 99,000 for weeks now, and I'll get up to like 99.8, and then I'll just lose followers. It's the craziest shit ever. It just like it'll creep up, and then all of a sudden I'll have like 200 followers just disappear. I don't know. I might just start. I don't take Twitter seriously. I just talk shit over there, or I do a bunch of Dark Knight Rises memes. But I mean, Twitter's good for information and everything like that. But in terms of me, it's just memes, man. I'm just there for the memes. That's it. You know what I mean? So, FVA says, Jeremy, would you ever run for office in Florida? What are your thoughts on the Wisconsin election? We're going to talk about the Wisconsin election. And no, I wouldn't. I would never run for office in Florida. I love the state of Florida, but there are way too many, far more, qualified people to run for office in Florida and in the country. Far more qualified people, because I mean, like for instance, I think like one of the things that you need to do to be like at like lower level political positions is you need to hook up with like, I don't know, tranny hookers. You have to have a lot of skeletons in your closet that's able to cover up, and that's not something I can claim. Holy crap. AJ is now comfortably the front runner. Sydney Sweeney is single, and AJ is now the front runner. Ladies and gentlemen, holy crap. So right now, she sent me a message just now for CobraCast. This is what Sydney Sweeney sent right here. Here we go.
Hey guys, so I just got some new product from Savage Fenty for July, and I wanted to share some of the really cool new products. I'm already wearing one of my favorites. It's their floral lace unlined bra in pink ombre, and it has matching underwear, which I always love a good set.
Okay, I probably don't need to play that one again. Holy shit. Whew. Probably don't need to play that one again. Probably don't. Whew. Let's just play the clip right now. I mean, I didn't know she showed that much. That's a damn.
Should I do it?
Do not come.
Come on, baby. Come on.
I'm gonna do it. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Beautiful white paint. It's coming down at 10,000 miles an hour. It's coming down at levels of speed that nobody ever even conceived of. Where it's rough, but it's coming, and now it's turned around. It turns around, and it's coming, and it's gonna. I said, oh, because you see at that bottom, this section right here, that sucker's. Oh.
And before we get rolling, there's only one more clip to play, and then we are going to talk about Elon Musk and Wisconsin and everything like that. But AJ, for $500!
And this is how much it was. $500 donation! You know what he says? Nothing. Drops $500 on the table, looks over at everybody at the poker table, dropped it on there, moonwalked right out of the saloon, double doors, didn't say anything. Spurs on his boots, couple holstered handguns, cowboy hat, thick mustache. Dropped the money on the table, looked at everybody square in their eye, and just moonwalked right out of the saloon, double doors. Didn't say shit. Didn't say anything. There's no message there. Didn't say jack shit. And you have to be a cocky son of a bitch. First and foremost, that's not cheap. You got to be a cocky son of a bitch to drop $500 and just bounce the fuck out of there and don't say nothing. I respect that.
And there it is. Thank you, AJ, you mad lad. Appreciate that. I got to say, I was not prepared for the clip I'm about to show all of you, but we do have a clip. And I wish they would have advertised this. A little bit of marketing would have went a long way, but they didn't decide to market it. But Donald Trump just had a showdown with AOC, and I have the video to prove it, ladies and gentlemen. So Donald Trump versus AOC, it just happened.
Round one. Fight.
Perfect KO.
Yeah. Let's go. That's awesome right there. Okay, so that just hit my feed. I'm like, okay, that's freaking cool right there. But let's talk about it. So there's a lot going on with this Wisconsin situation, and I do want to focus in on that. First things first, this tweet right here from Mays. If Trump had not won the election, he would be in prison right now or on his way. For openly supporting Trump and free speech, Elon would eventually be facing prison time, and millions of illegals would continue to be ushered into the country until future elections were no longer in doubt. Europe has fallen again, but Americans saved America in 2024. That is 100% accurate, and that is the context that we have to keep in perspective at all times. That's not a joke. That sounds like somebody is blowing this out of proportion. They're not. They're not. And right now, this Wisconsin situation, which I haven't been keeping up with it too much, but it is on my radar now because it's been out there so much, why Wisconsin Supreme Court election is so important. So here we go. Right here.
A high-stakes election for the Wisconsin Supreme Court will take place Tuesday, April 1st. It's the first major statewide race in Wisconsin since President Trump's election. It could also determine the future of abortion and election disputes. Susan Crawford is the Democratic-backed candidate. She's a circuit court judge in Madison. She's up against former Republican Attorney General Brad Schimmel, who President Donald Trump has endorsed. The controversy in the race is focused on Elon Musk, who has spent $20 million of his own money trying to influence the race. $90 million in all has been collected so far for donations. Musk is also offering Wisconsinites $100 to sign a petition against so-called activist judges. According to the Wisconsin Board of Elections, voting is up 48% in early voting over another spirited Supreme Court race 2 years ago. Earlier this morning, I spoke with Associate Professor Anthony Chergosky, a political science professor at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, about what's at stake. Take a look. And joining us right now is Professor Chergosky. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
This race is being seen nationally as a referendum on President Trump's agenda and on Elon Musk and Doge. Do people in Wisconsin...
Yeah, you guys are wondering about where my eyebrows are? This bitch stole them. This chick right here, she stole them. Look at them. My eyebrows are trying to run away from her.
Wisconsin see it that way, too.
Now they do. But before, I don't think anyone could have expected that this race would focus so much on Donald Trump and so much on Elon Musk. But Musk has put millions and millions and millions of dollars of his own money into this campaign. He's given money to the Wisconsin Republican Party, which has then transferred money to Brad Schimmel, the Conservatives campaign. And Musk has put lots of money into his independent efforts to get out the vote. He has tried to connect Brad Schimmel to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump himself has weighed in with an endorsement of Schimmel. So this race has really taken on a life of its own as a result of how Musk and Trump are factoring into the campaign.
One of the things that is so unusual here is that Elon Musk has actually promised or given $100 to every single voter who signs a petition against so-called activist judges. He also was going to give $1 million away to 2 voters. That has been just blocked a couple of days ago by a court in Wisconsin. What is the reaction to that part of this? Because that is so unusual.
That has really escalated the pro and anti-Elon Musk sides in this race, and it has made this campaign even more of a referendum.
Are you guys saying that was not blocked, what she said? She said it was blocked. You saying it wasn't blocked? Didn't get blocked? Okay, noted. Unblocked by the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Thank you, Candy T.
On Elon Musk. And I would say that this race has become more of a referendum on Musk than on Trump, because if you watch the ads from the Democrats, if you watch the ads from Susan Crawford, the liberal-leaning candidate, they focus a lot more on Musk than they do on Trump. Clearly, they see some opportunity there. But Musk sees plenty of opportunity to have this petition drive where people can get paid.
Well, to be fair, though, I think this video when did this video come out? 1 day ago. So this video probably dropped before it was overturned, because, yeah, he did give those out last night. I remember seeing the images of him giving them away.
$100 for signing this petition, as you noted, against activist judges. He's giving away lots of money in drawings to people who signed the petition. Now, in Wisconsin, people are not allowed to pay others for voting.
And in most states, yes.
That has caused a lot of debate about the legality of this effort.
All right. I want to ask you about the state dealership laws for auto dealers in Wisconsin, because critics of Elon Musk say the reason he is doing this is because of the dealership laws and dealership ownership laws in Wisconsin. Can you explain that? And is that getting a lot of traction?
Yeah, essentially, there could be a court case about if Elon Musk could have a Tesla dealership in Wisconsin.
So he's the only one, right?
That case could very well go before the Wisconsin State Supreme Court. And so critics have alleged that Elon Musk has a conflict of interest when it comes to this race and his potential legal dealings with Wisconsin courts. I think it goes beyond that, though, where Musk is now viewing this race as a test of his own influence, and that if Schimmel wins, it will be symbolic of public support for Trump and Musk. So there's a lot going on here, a lot of symbolism in this race.
Right. And one of the rules about the dealership, as I understand it, is that in Wisconsin, car manufacturers cannot own the dealership. It has to be a third party. Musk is suing to get rid of that so that he can own the Tesla dealerships in Wisconsin. Is that right?
That's exactly correct. And so that leads into the conversation about conflicts of interest. There's conflicts of interest conversations all over the place in this campaign. Musk is not the only person who is donating to these candidates and may have potential business before the state Supreme Court. But certainly that law stands out as one that is being litigated and could go all the way up.
All right.
So we do have a video from Red Eagle Politics, and they have a breakdown of the Supreme Court election analysis to kind of let us know. I know that the polls that we saw were neck and neck. It was like 50.8 to like 49 point something. It was crazy how close it is. So let's hear what they have to say right here.
You guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So the 2024 election took place in November, but tomorrow is the most important election day that we've had since November's 2024 election. And no, that's not an April Fool's joke. This is completely legitimate. There is a very crucial election in the state of Wisconsin. We've talked about it over the past couple of months on this channel, but also several elections taking place in the state of Florida. And today's video is kind of a reminder for a lot of people to get out and vote in Wisconsin. Take people with you if you have not already voted yet, and make sure that if you don't live in Wisconsin, but you know people that support Trump that live in Wisconsin, just send them a text message, be like, hey.
I know the quartering has been really on top of, like, out there, getting out, door knocking and doing all he can to get the word out. I think Scott Pressler's there. So there's been some boots on the ground work for sure.
Just making sure that you're going to vote in this crucial election tomorrow, because it is true that there's a lot at stake in Wisconsin. It might not seem like it, but this could dictate the outcome of 2026, because the House.
Ruben says, so we're okay with voter bribery here? The fact that your last name is Rubin is very, very telling, because you probably have a dick in your mouth. Go watch Dave Rubin. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody wants you here, bitch.
House majority, it's very narrow. There's very few competitive seats compared to like 2018. And the liberal activist judge, Susan Crawford, who is running for this seat, She has basically come out and said, yeah, we're going to draw out 2 Republican districts. And also when it comes down to election laws that could dictate the future of how Wisconsin elections are run, mind you, it was not really much of a coincidence why Wisconsin was the closest state of the Rust Belt 3. We want to make sure that we can make it as red of a state as possible. The election laws that are currently in place are very 2020-esque. Trump still won. We know that, but if...
Holy shit. You think that's a fucking own? You're admitting to being gay? Holy shit. Bro. You know what? We knew you were gay. I didn't know you were gay and retarded. Wow. Okay. Well, there you go.
If you want to change them, you're going to have a conservative Supreme Court. And that's why Brad Schimmel is the candidate that people need to get out and vote for. They need to vote for Brad. And it's very important. It might not seem like it, but it is. And we'll get into the election analysis side of things, but Florida has 2 very crucial elections as well. You have a congressional special election in the Panhandle District.
Yes, we do.
The 1st District, in which case you have a replacement for Matt Gaetz, Jimmy Petronis. He's up against a Democrat, and that is not very competitive. The early vote is R plus 18.5 and
Jimmy's
counting. It probably gets up into the 20s. I think he wins by more than 20 points.
Hell yeah.
In the 1st District. And then in the 6th District, Randy Fine, a little bit of a weaker candidate. He makes a lot of people angry. He's kind of a rhino. He's kind of a blowhard, Peter Griffin knockoff type of guy. Overall, he has just a massive ego and not a lot to show for it. And a lot of people don't like him. I still think people need to get out and vote for him because it's crucial.
Agreed.
But he's making the seat more
Trump
competitive than
him.
it needs
I'm pretty
to
sure
be.
Trump endorsed him.
And as a result, I think that come 2026, yeah, he should be primaried out. But as of right now, we need to make sure he crosses the finish line. I think he's going to win by double digits at the end of the day. I'm not super worried about these districts, but that's too close for comfort. And Democrats are going to have like this big, like, oh, well, look, we overperformed in Florida. It's just going to give them like this massive, massive ego just because Randy Fine is a relatively weak candidate and there's not going to be the highest turnout and Democrats are able to capitalize off of it. But still, we need to make sure that we win because both of these seats are crucial. Now, Wisconsin, Republicans are not exactly favored according to most metrics in the Supreme Court race. However, I will say that it's not going to be another 2023. Total spending in this race is projected to reach $100 million by Election Day. A lot of that is on the Republican side. Now, Crawford has been getting a lot of money from like Soros, but now we have Elon. Elon is like our Soros. We kind of have like an even playing field.
And this is the ridiculousness of it. Like, none of these clowns that are crying about Elon had a problem with George Soros just pumping millions and millions of dollars from the shadows, by the way. So he's doing it from the shadows in a very manipulative way. Yet Elon is at the forefront fighting fire with fire, and they suddenly have a problem with Elon doing it.
That is giving us a leg up, but it's about turning out these voters who vote for Trump but don't usually vote as often in midterm years, especially in off-year elections. So you're really going to need, from 2023, when Republicans got decimated by 11 points, you're going to need about, a few percentage of the Janet vote to flip to Brad, and I think that's possible. But on top of that, you're going to need a lot of new voters who are going to vote for Brad on Election Day. Now, the early vote looks better. It looks much better than it did in 2023. And you can see this, it's not even close. If you look at this, the counties that are up, and Republicans have had a lot of momentum. We've had a big push, and we got to keep pushing. You look at what's going on. Washington County, it's up 103.1% from 2023. That is a massive positive sign. Now, hopefully it's not all cannibalization. Hopefully you get a lot of voters out on Election Day. That's all very important, but you are seeing a massive shift in the in-person ballots cast, and they do typically lean Republican. So we better hope that there's a lot left in the tank. There is a lot left in the tank, but they need to show up on election day. Big uptick in Waukesha, big uptick in Racine, big uptick in Kenosha. Not as big of an uptick in Dane and Milwaukee. Definitely those are going to benefit the Democrats, but still the main uptick that we've seen has been in those WOW counties and in these red areas that you're seeing. And there's a massive shift in the not just ballots returned, but in-person ballots returned, which is going to be more Republican favorable. And we saw a poll that was conducted out of Trafalgar, which again, their poll overestimated Kamala Harris in Wisconsin this past election cycle. So that's an...
What were the final numbers for Wisconsin in the presidential election? I can't remember. Didn't Trump win by a few points? It was obviously like the polls had it like neck and neck, but Trump won by quite a few points. Not like anything massive, but it was a pretty comfortable win. But I can't remember exactly what the final numbers were. So somebody's going to tell me here in the chat in just a minute.
Important thing to note. So if you apply the same polling error, this is a Brad victory, or it's a very, very close race. It's possible that it could happen. And you see this, those who have already voted have backed Crawford by 10. The early vote is typically more Democrat. And again, that's a big shift in the right direction, because when you see that, it's like, okay, so the people that have already voted early are already less pro the liberal judge than the total electorate was back in 2023. So you're already operating at a position of strength, and those who are likely voting, which again...
Yeah, dude, McMahon, it's Red Eagle politics. I don't watch him that much, but I saw he had a breakdown of this. I think I watched Red Eagle during the lead up to the 2024 election. But let's see. Grant Potato says, what a low and dirty grift. So anyways, I'm starting bidding at 5K, Jeremy. 5K? We got to drop the 5K. You can drop like, several $500 super chats. It's okay. Right now, AJ's in the lead. Sydney Sweeney's watching, and AJ is in the lead. So he's definitely the front runner right now. Let's see here. American Advocate says Mustangs are for dudes pretending to not be gay. What do you drive? What do you drive? A fucking Kia? The fuck do you drive a Miata, don't you? Dudes that talk shit about Mustangs drive Miatas. Cruising around in your Miata and your boyfriend's head's bobbing up and down the whole time. Go ahead. Tell us about your fucking Mazda Miata. Hope says it's not the size of the chat, but how you use it. Nico says, Ashley St. Clair is everything wrong with modern women. I agree. We're going to talk about that. Don't worry. 8 o'clock. This is also funny. In that episode, the Lucasfilm executive said that episode 3 would be the last Star Wars movie. It's one of the women that was trying to put background characters instead of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I can't wait to see it now. I can't wait to see it. Let's see. Magatron says, I met Hulk Hogan today. I had a great interaction with him, and I thanked him for having Trump's back. He gave me a, of course, brother in character. That is awesome right there. Hell yeah. That's badass. Dark Schwartz Rising for 20 says to that Reuben sandwich guy, it's not illegal to pay for the signing of a petition or illegal to pay people to vote in general. Learn to read IDOT. There we go. Learn to read IDOT. Hail to the IDOTs out there. Hail. Let's see here. Anonymous says, I heard you were excited that the movie Queer just hit Max. Since it has your favorite Bond, Daniel Craig, so gay, not as much as Ruben. Well, I didn't know that movie hit Cinemax, but apparently you did. And I've also never watched a Daniel Craig James Bond movie, because I can't stand Daniel Craig. I think he fucking sucks. But I'm glad you're excited for that, if that's a show or whatever it is. Andrew Sarah says, Jeremy drives a Prius and plays Mustang noises in the background when recording his car videos. Ryan says, BMW 440i with a B58 baby. Mustangs are slow. That's a pretty nice car. I would never own a Beamer personally, or like a Mercedes or anything like that. Too fucking fancy for me. I just need American muscle. Damn it, dude. I do drive a Kia. I fucking love this chat, dude. I love this chat. I fucking love all of you guys so much. Oh, hail to you, American advocates. Hail to you. Nothing but respect, sir. Nothing but respect. Jose Ib says, Schmashly Cashley St. Clair is going to become a leftist. You can see it from a mile away. To be honest, she always has been. She hung out with Harry Sisson. This is true. We're going to talk about that for sure.
They're showing that there's going to be a big portion of the electorate that hasn't voted yet, according to this, and those who are likely voting are going to back Brad by just 5. Now, that's not enough. It's going to have to be more than that. I think it's going to be more than that, to be honest. The question is, how many of those voters are there, and are they going to be able to go out there and carry him to victory? He has momentum. This is true, but still, it's going to come down to turnout. And a lot of these voters, these white working class voters in Wisconsin, as you saw in 2023, they're less likely to turn out. Now, abortion's going to be a little bit less of a factor in this race as it was in 2023. That doesn't mean that the Democrats aren't going to try to run on that to drum up their turnout in places like Madison. However, you talk about crime and the messaging. Schimmel is somebody who is not like trying to run from Trump like Dan Kelly, which didn't help him. He's somebody that is, being somewhat, I guess you would say, vocal in the fact that he accepts the endorsement. He's somebody that is talking about the issues, common sense issues, and he possibly can win. He's going to have to flip the bow counties and a lot of these like rural counties that ended up going for Janet. I think he is. The question is by how much, and also what about the wow counties, because these are crucial. And again, I don't think Milwaukee's going to be as much of a problem because even Madison, Dane County, had a higher turnout in 2023 than Milwaukee County did. And Milwaukee doesn't have this massive uptick. So it is true you're working with one hydrogen bomb of Democrat votes instead of 2, but you got to counteract it because it is a...
This is going to be a very, very close election. And as that news report said earlier, Elon is putting himself at the forefront right now. I don't know, so he was just live, or he was just live on he did a live stream earlier, did a call in or something like that. So, Elon is putting it all on the line for Wisconsin right now in the Supreme Court race.
Massive vote dump, and definitely 82% in Madison, winning Madison by 154,000 votes. If you can, somehow trim that down just a tad, that goes a long way, but you have to really run up the score in the WOW counties. Dan Kelly, if you add them all up, he won the WOW counties by maybe like 40-some thousand votes. You're going to have to win them by like 70,000-ish plus, and you're going to have to do better in the rural areas. So the fact that there's more resources going in, there's a lot of positive signs. But in terms of my final predictions, am I ready to go out there and say that Brad is going to win? Well, I think he has a decent chance, and I'm not trying to say this to demoralize people, but we've seen how these things go, and if he did win, it would be a massive upset. I don't think it's going to be a 10-point underperformance of Trump's margin like what we saw with Dan Kelly in 2023. I don't expect it to be like that Pennsylvania special election where Republicans just were asleep at the wheel in Lancaster County and ended up
massive volume difference between that guy and me. Who's louder? Is he louder or am I louder? Just curious. I can turn him down if I need to.
Losing a seat that Donald Trump won by 15 points. But at the end of the day, this is going to be a race where the tide is just naturally working against the Republicans because Republicans are the lower propensity party. So higher turnout on Election Day helps. And if it's enough, it's possible. The first one to 1 million votes could win. 5% in this race is going to be like 100,000 votes. So if you find 100,000 people, even if the polls are modeling like a 5-point win for Crawford on aggregate, well, you would still have Brad win. So we need people out and voting for Brad. Take people with you. But my final predictions are these, and I hope I'm wrong. about the Wisconsin race, but I think that Jimmy Petronis is going to win by around 25. I give him a 99% chance of victory or more. Randy Fine, I think he wins by 11. I'll give him a 93% chance of victory. Right now, I have Crawford by 4. I'll give her a 70% chance of victory. I would love to be wrong. I don't think that people should look at my prediction and be demoralized. I'm trying to keep it as real as possible, to tell people that, yeah, we need people out and voting. This is important because the future of Wisconsin is at stake. And technically, if this election was not happening, the liberals would still have the Supreme Court. But we have an actual chance to correct course in the state of Wisconsin, keep it red, make it a red-leaning swing state. And this could dictate the outcome of the 2028 election. There's a very solid chance Wisconsin could be the state it all comes down to. And if Republicans win it, then they're going to be much more likely to win the White House in 2028. So it's a very crucial state for Republicans to do well in. Hopefully they go out there. Hopefully they win it. We'll see what happens when it's all said and done. But get out and vote if you live in those Florida districts or the state of Wisconsin, and vote for Brad Schimmel. So anyways, guys,
there you go. So that's not a great sign that and again, he could be wrong, and he's obviously hoping that he is wrong, but something we got to keep an eye on. And it's going to be a crazy day tomorrow. And tomorrow's going to be wild because it's April 1st, and there's going to be so much nonsense out there tomorrow. There's going to be so much BS posted on April 1st, and we're just going to have to see how it all plays out. Dark Schwartz Rising says, what was your very first car? I had a 97 Volvo 850 GLT turbo over here in 2005. Not a dry pair of britches in town. Hail chat. My first car was I think it was a Hyundai Excel. Let me look up a Hyundai Excel. Super gay car, by the way. Hyundai Excel? Let's go with I don't know. It had to be like a 93, maybe 90. Let's say a 94 Hyundai Excel, maybe. Oh, no, that wasn't it. Let's see. Was it 96 then? 98. It was similar to these right here. Yeah, I had I want to say it was like a 97, or maybe a 90. Let's try it. I don't know. I don't remember. It was some type of Hyundai. I thought it was a Hyundai Excel, but none of these are. I don't recognize any of these cars. Hyundai Excel. Now I'm interested. Let's see if Google would work. Something. Yeah, you know what? That is it. Yeah, here we go. So now listen, if there's any ladies in the chat, I just need you to all calm down. I don't have this vehicle anymore, okay? So calm down. I don't have it anymore. But man, I was a chick magnet when I was rolling around Panama City, Florida in this bad boy. Although mine was not this color, but there we go. Listen, just saying, all right? Just saying. I mean, the chicks were all over me at this point. I could not. I was basically, I know what it's like to be Brad Pitt, okay? I was Brad Pitt, everywhere I went, the chicks were just crazy. They were just crazy. Mine was the Ryan Kennel approved color. So mine wasn't red. Mine was the Ryan Kennel approved color. So there you go. Thank you, Dark Schwartz Rising. Fantastic Knox says, hail, Aussie muscle over American muscle. I'm biased. I respect that. Hector says, dude called me out too. Just got a 2024 Miata. LOL. Hey, congratulations, Hector. Congratulations, sir. Demi Moore Stateworm says, hey, now, I drive a Subaru Forester with a lesbian pride sticker on it. I love eating that you know what. So I guess I identify as a lesbian. So does your Mustang have a 5.0 Coyote? Yes, it is. It is 100% a Coyote. It has headers on it. It's pretty souped up. You guys heard it's not a custom anything on it. But yes, I do have a Coyote in it. So 5.0, baby. Although my favorite body style for Mustangs is 2005 through 2009, even though that had the 4.6, which is disappointing. I love that body style. I love 2005 to 2009. I love that body style, and that's the year Cobra that I want. Which I almost bought a 2009 Shelby Cobra. It just had way too many miles on it. It had when I bought my GT, I almost bought a Shelby. It was a black Shelby, but it had like almost 100,000 miles on it, which isn't terrible, but almost 100,000 miles on it. But man, it was kind of like Ashley St. Clair. You could tell that thing had been ridden hard. I mean, that thing had been ridden hard. So I was like, I'll just get the GT with like 40,000 miles on it. I didn't want to get the Ashley St. Clair version because it had been ridden hard, and you could tell. Let's see. Ryan says, I'm just kidding. That American V8 sounds wonderful. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Let's talk about Ashley St. Clair really quick, because it's been a pretty interesting day. I've made a few videos on the topic. But Ashley St. Clair, she's caused some issues today. And Ashley St. Clair is reportedly Elon Musk's latest baby mama. And she's very upset with Elon. And there was a video of her right here. Basically, she pulled off what appears to be, it looks like she called the paparazzi so that she could slam Elon Musk. Here we go.
I'm selling it because I need to make up for the 60% cut that Elon made to our son's child support.
Why do you think that he did that?
That's a great question for him.
You feel like he was sort of like vindictive against you in some way?
Yeah, that's his modus operandi when women speak out.
So she sold her Tesla because she claims that Elon Musk owes her money. Now, Elon Musk actually responded to this. And I gotta pull this up here in just a minute. Give me just a second, because I had all the Wisconsin stuff pulled up. Elon Musk responded to a tweet from Laura Loomer, which absolutely was hilarious, because I did not think Elon was going to address it, but he damn sure did. Right here, if I can find it. So many tweets today that I've been going over. But yeah, the Laura Loomer one in particular was pretty good. Holy shit, what is that? Now, I initially responded to this one because this is where I first saw it. And I responded with a meme, which is pretty good. And I'll show you the meme here in just a second. The meme that I responded to this tweet was this one right here. Right there. He literally just nutted in me and started playing video games. So here's Elon's response. Elon responds and says, I don't know if the child is mine or not, but I am not against finding out. No court order is needed. Despite not knowing for sure, I have given Ashley $2.5 million and am sending her $500,000 a year. $500,000 a year. Now, Ashley St. Clair responded to Elon Musk's tweet and said, Elon, we asked you to confirm paternity through the test before our child, who you named, was even born. You refused. And you weren't sending me money. You were sending support for your child that you thought was necessary until you withdrew most of it to maintain control and punish me for disobedience. But you're really only punishing your son. It's ironic that your last effort in court was trying to gag me while you use a social media channel you literally own to distribute derogatory messages about me and our child to the entire world. It's all about control with you, and everyone can see it. America needs you to grow up, you petulant man-child. Oh my goodness. So this whole story is getting extremely funny because she is getting crushed. She is getting absolutely crushed right now on social media across the board. I have another tweet pulled up. This is an old tweet that, let me go to my replies right here. So Maze put this one up. I commented and I'm like, 2 fake MAGA chicks. So this is October 2024, either a few days before or a few days after she allegedly had Elon's baby. Ashley St. Clair talks about Elon Musk. So much love. Now she sold her Tesla and is bashing Elon. Here we go.
Incredible to have someone who typically was left-leaning, and a lot of the projects that he's been a big part of, you know, sustainable energy, the electric cars, all of this stuff is typically more left-leaning things. And because they didn't like Elon's politics, they really iced him out of a lot of things in this administration. They revoked a contract for Starlink because they said that Starlink wasn't capable of providing internet to rural areas. That is fundamentally insane because guess what? The first person they called when they needed help in rural North Carolina, that was Elon Musk. The first person they called, they had 2 choices. It was either Elon Musk or Putin when those astronauts were stuck in space, and they had to call Elon Musk. So I think Elon also sees that there's not really a path.
Man, she just loved Elon. He was such a great guy. Wow, I wonder what changed. Suddenly, he's just such a terrible person now. But wow, she loved Elon. And Tommy Lahren is another fake MAGA chick, by the way. Don't fall for it. She is 100% a fake MAGA chick. Both of these chicks are.
Forward for a lot of this progress and technological progress. You know, if we do want to be a space-faring civilization, we cannot have this regulatory state that has just expanded and will continue to expand endlessly under Kamala Harris. They're delaying the launches of SpaceX rockets because of the FAA. So I think he really understands that in order for there to be progress for humanity, not just as America, but, you know, as a people, that we have to destroy this regulatory state. So I think they made a big mistake icing Elon out of a lot of these things and choking out his companies with these regulations.
So I do have a better version of the video. If you guys do you guys want to see the better version of the video? This is the better version of the video, and this is with Tommy Lahren and Ashley St. Clair and most conservative women. This is the best way to watch conservative women. Excellent points. Excellent points. Fantastic points. I agree with both of you. Both of you are really doing a great job. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Tommy Lahren, this is the best you've sounded in forever. I'm really loving everything that Ashley St. Clair has to say. So these are great points right here from both of you, and I would encourage both of you to continue this path forward right here. Better seen, not heard. Conservative women in a nutshell right there. Better seen, not heard. Now, I don't know if this is a troll, but this guy tweets this out and says, "Hey, Elon, take the test." I don't know what that means. But he's got this picture with Ashley St. Clair. "Hey, Elon, take the test." Did my boy hook up with it? I don't know. This would be the greatest plot twist of all time if this guy was actually the father And Elon gets to sue Ashley St. Clair for lying and getting all of this money from him. I don't know who this guy is. A few of my mutuals follow him. He's a Trump supporter. I mean, this is at Mar-a-Lago right here. This picture's taken at Mar-a-Lago. So there you go. I don't know. It will be interesting to see. The more this thing is played out, though, I mean, Laura Loomer has been on it, by the way. You go to Laura Loomer's account. Hey, Ashley St. Clair, remember when you said this? Do you think having $3 million in the bank is the definition of a poor kid? You are shameless. It's pretty evil that the mainstream narrative has become having no kids is better than having poor kids. I mean, she's going off on her. It's so good. Ashley, you don't need $3 million to raise a baby. This is so outrageous that you had sex without birth control. You seem to have plotted for many years how to get Elon Musk to knock you up. And now you're complaining because you want more money for a baby. In what world does it cost more than $500,000 a year to raise a baby? Not to mention you are making over $25,000 a month on X payouts. How does one person need that much money to survive? This is an insult to everyone. You are trying to cash out a billionaire who you baby trapped. That's it right there. It's all a setup. Every single and she's been doing this for a while. Just in, gold digger and gaslighter, Ashley St. Clair, who was crying poverty after Elon Musk gave her $2.5 million and $500,000 per year allowance, went with full rent and no car payment, just followed Elon's father after trashing Elon on video. She also followed Gretchen Carlson, best known for getting a payout from Fox News after sobbing about allegedly being sexually harassed by old men at Fox News. Holy crap. Let's see here. She's now anti-Trump and runs cover for the left as the housewife of a rich New York lawyer. Typical whore behavior. Women are so typical. Laura Loomer crushing it right now. Crushing it. But yeah, so this whole story is not going to go away anytime soon. She's, and again, I'll remind everyone, Ashley St. Clair has me blocked. Okay? Ashley St. Clair has me blocked. She blocked me because I called her out for being a fake MAGA girl. She got very offended by that, and she didn't like it. And many people in the conservative space were like, oh my gosh, look, a pretty girl with the MAGA hat on. I got to follow her. Oh man, she's my hero. She's such a great person for the conservative movement. No, she's not. No, she's not. She never was. She was never MAGA. She was here to manipulate and twist, and she had a good thing going for a long time. But, you know, not no more. She built up to 1 million followers. I got to say, one of the biggest red flags is people that Elon Musk consistently interacts with on Twitter. He does not have a good track record. I'm almost glad Elon doesn't interact with me on Twitter because Ian Miles Chong, that Mario Narwhal fool or whatever his name is, that guy who's a fucking scam artist, Ashley St. Clair. And as I said in my video earlier, for all the Grums haters out there, the biggest red flag for Grums might be that Elon interacts with him because Elon does not have a good track record of people that he interacts with on social media. Eliza Blue, yes, that's another one. Eliza Blue. Elon picks terrible fucking people to interact with on social media. Terrible. He really does. So if you want to, like, that 100%, it's a bad track record that Elon Musk has. That's something to think about. I don't know why. I don't know why that happens that way. But yeah, what's this guy? Mario, whatever his name is. Right here. This guy. This is another one of Elon's boys right here. This guy's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. He just lies. I remember I commented on one of his tweets that he was lying about, and he deleted the tweet. And of course, you know Ian Miles Chong. You know that guy. No, but like the Grums thing is so funny because I had to comment about some, like, what is this opera? Where's it at? I got to pull it up first. I've had a lot of tweets today. You're right here. So Opera tweeted this out. We're currently developing a feature that'll remove any trace of Grums from the web. And the Grum's derangement syndrome is not natural. It is 100% weird. Now, I have had Grums on a couple streams. I think I talked to Grums once in the past several months. But I don't know Grums outside of having him on streams or whatever. They accuse me of taking up for him every time. And the more that they accuse me of taking up for him, the more that I don't want to get involved in any of this, because these clowns that hate him are fucking insane. And so I commented and I said, this is why I don't take the Grums hate seriously. The type of people that are mad about it are deranged. Then they demand that you care as much as they do. If you don't, they lose it. These weirdos that keep accusing me of being a defender of his conveniently never show any receipts. It's a mental illness. This guy right here says, bro, you literally told me you didn't care and would bring him on a stream just to spite people. You don't actually care about gamers at all. I said, yes, retard. I never actually brought him on the stream. I never even, I said I never tried, or I never even tried after telling you that. I misspelled right there. It was meant to trigger you, and you're still crying about it a month later, even though it never happened. Deranged. And then he says, what do you mean it never tried telling me that? That's exactly what you told me. Your defense here is showing my, your defense here shows my words that left an impact on you. What? Because you're second guessing yourself, showing clear insecurity. And I'm like, never even tried after telling you that. It was a typo, meaning I never even talked to Grums after telling you I would bring him on a stream. I'm a low-level grifter, and I have manipulated your emotions for over a month over something that was never going to happen. Get help. And then he responded, Jesus Christ, Jeremy, are you genuinely this retarded? And I just said, yes. Yes. Of course I'm retarded. Have you ever watched my stream? Have you ever watched any of my videos? Of course I'm retarded. But it's just such a weird dynamic with these people where they just get so mad if you do not agree with everything that they want you to agree with. And it's like, I'm never going to be bullied into a position because you want me to be. And then I've heard people, well, this is what you did with Tim Pool. You called Tim Pool out for not calling out Eliza Blue. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Tim Pool literally lied about the Eliza Blue situation and threw the quartering under the bus as a reason to not talk about it. That's what he did. Then he shut his chat down because his own chat wanted him to talk about it. Now, if you send me super chats and ask me about Grums, okay, let's talk about Grums. I don't give a shit. But I'm not going to be told what to do by a bunch of activists on Twitter. But if people that watch my channel are like, hey, Jeremy, what do you think about this Grums situation? Then I'll answer it. But not because people on Twitter that have never watched my channel want me to join their movement or some bullshit like that. Never going to happen. But Tim Pool shut his chat down and made everybody that was normally able to comment for free, those 40,000 people, he decided you have to pay money in order to comment on my public live stream because too many people are being mean to me on the internet. Mega gay. And then he claimed that the night that they were going to have the quartering on the show, you can go back and look this up. He claimed that the reason they didn't talk about Eliza Blue was because the quartering didn't show up to that night's show. So they had to change everything. For people that have watched Tim Pool, has Tim ever changed the dynamics of his show, the topics of his show, because a guest didn't show up? That is 100% bullshit. That is a massive fucking lie. So anyway, the biggest problem with Crumbs is that Elon retweets him, though, for better or for worse. That's the biggest problem with him. Chris says, for 10 says, no idea what I missed so far. Just joined so far. This is gay. Tell me more. Thank you. Maddie says, Elon needs to take a step back, especially from posting on X. Like it or not, the more time he spends in the spotlight, the less popular he becomes. Dems see him as an easy target for a reason. Just saying. I don't disagree with you at all. I don't. Yeah, I don't, because it's like anything else, man. Like, listen, he's the richest man in the world. I have hung out with a few, like, people that are considered like big time YouTubers or big time celebrities. Some of these people don't live in the same world, man. Like, I go to the grocery store, I'm looking for the cheapest shit possible, okay? I've hung out with people who have no sense of reality, and it's like, how do you do that? How do you do that? Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. He doesn't live in the same galaxy as any of us. And so I don't know how to, I wouldn't want to give him advice or anything, but I agree with you that the more he talks on Twitter, the worse it becomes for him. I know he owns the platform, but he should be more of a silent owner. It's just not doing him any favors. But at the same time, dude's literally saving the country for us, so I'm not going to criticize him. Hector says, by the way, if you ever want a new Ford, I have a hookup. Hey, let's go. Hey, if you can, I'm upside down on my Denali, but if you can get me a deal where I can get a F-250, I'll consider trading it in. I'm way upside down though. Way upside down because I'm retarded. Demi Moore's Tapeworm says, my first car was a 91 MK or Mark II Toyota MR2 Canary Yellow. I used to tell chicks it was a Ferrari. It actually looked like an F350 or F355, but more reliable. Haha. Demi Moore's Tapeworm says she's the one that created this mess. $500K a year. Damn, I wish I could give birth. Max K for 199. Thank you. Darian Murphy says conservative women are are just covert feminist. Demi Moore's Tapeworm says she has a pretty face, but no TNA. Sensei Skywalker says, who won the mic battle, Cena or Cody? I'm going to go with Cena, but Cody held his own. Logan Miller, 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Phoenix Scribe for 10 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. Thank you. Chris says, by the way, didn't mean to like my own super chat. I clicked the like button just to see who liked my super chat and just liked my own super chat. What the fuck? I'm no better than Rachel Zegler. I'm retarded. You are right at home then if you're retarded. So thank you. Mitchell Field says, after 7 hours of driving, the sun started to go down with rain, and the median in the highway 199 face down. I thought I saw. Jeremy, is he okay? Jeremy's good. I farted on him, though, so he's struggling a little bit. Eddie Ramirez says, every week flows by, the same old problem occurs. Okay, so we got a couple more things I want to cover, and then... man, I got videos to make. Got all kind of stuff going on right now, man. It's going to be one of those days, though. Where is it at? How dare you? Are you guys mad that I farted on Jeremy? I mean, it happens, right? You remember Elon Musk actually predicted this if Trump lost.
If he loses, man, what? You're fucked, dude.
I'm fucked. If he loses, I'm fucked.
It does seem that way. You can't just be like, yo,
yeah, I'm like, how long do you think my prison sentence is going to be? Do you think? Will I see my children? I don't know.
Because it's not like you can say, well, yeah, I maxed out to him, but, I get...
I have no plausible deniability. No, and I've been trashing Kamala nonstop.
Oh, I know.
Well, not, I mean, the Kamala puppet, I call her, you know. The machine that the Kamala puppet represents.
That's fantastic, man. I mean, he did. He put it all on the line, man. This guy put it all on the line. And I really do. I really appreciate what he's done for America. This is a video right here that ALX just uploaded. Elon right here said this.
Hello, Mr. Musk. I'm calling you from Pulaski. My entire family voted early, and my neighbors also. But
thank you.
What I want to ask is, you found a lot of fraud in Social Security system. Do you know whether or not the Attorney General is going to investigate and prosecute that fraud?
Yes. In fact, I believe someone is going to be arrested tomorrow. This is someone who actually stole 400,000 Social Security numbers and personal information from the Social Security database, and was selling Social Security numbers and all the identification information in order for people to basically steal money from Social Security. And this is like, by the way, a particular avenue of fraud for like illegal immigrants and for voter fraud, because the main way that identification is established in the United States is via Social Security. So if you compromise the Social Security system, you can basically get people to get de facto registered to vote, even if they're not citizens, and to get a bunch of benefits and to milk the system. It's pretty insane. Like the Democrats basically taken every part of the government that could possibly be bent towards providing financial incentives for illegal immigrants to come to and remain in the United States, whether it's Social Security, disability, Medicare, unemployment, even like IRS refunds without any income. It's wild. The diverted FEMA funds, which is supposed to be for helping.
So, and I know it's kind of hard to hear it, but Elon Musk says someone's going to be arrested tomorrow for stealing 400,000 Social Security numbers and personal information from the Social Security database and selling them in order for others to steal money. Absolutely insane. And this is what we're getting. This is what we're getting. And we're getting people that care about America and love America. And listen, we also have a very talented individual in the White House. This guy right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never come back. It's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. Or it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
What an amazing voice. The voice of an angel. Some say, a lot of people say it's the voice of an angel. So I don't know. I just saw that on my timeline and I'm like, I got to play that. I got to play that for the people. Now, are you guys a fan of Caroline Leavitt? I think she's got a great personality.
He said, yeah, there are methods there. Look,
you guys continue to ask the president this question about a third term, and then he answers honestly and candidly with a smile, and then everybody here melts down about his answer. The president was talked about this last night on the plane. He said, it's not really something we're thinking about. He has 4 years. There's a lot of work to do. We've done a lot in these nearly first 100 days, and the American people love what this president is doing, particularly when it comes to efforts to secure the border.
He said there are methods there.
Look, you guys.
So, great personality from her. I'm glad that she's part of the administration. Now, we did get some video of President Trump, and this was what he said right here. This is what he said right here.
I travel. And yeah, there's this other story. I know it's hypothetical right now, but if you were allowed for some reason to run for a third term, is there a thought that the Democrats could try to run Barack Obama against you?
I'd love that.
For his third term?
Oh, I'd love that. That would be a good one. I'd like that. No, people are asking me to run, and there's a whole story about running.
Trump just sees it like, oh man, that'd be good right there.
For a third term. I don't know. I never looked into it. They do say there's a way you can do it, but I don't know about that, but I have not looked into it. I want to do a fantastic job. We have 4 years, just about, almost close to 4 years. Time is flying, but it's still close to 4 years, and we're getting a lot of credit for having done a great job in the first almost 100 days. And we have some big things we're going to be announcing over the next 2 days, and you know very well, Peter, and I think it's going to be something that's going to bring a lot of wealth back to our country, tremendous wealth back to our country, actually. And other countries are understanding it because they've been ripping us for 50 years, longer, but they've been ripping us off for years, right from the beginning. And I think this is going to be an amazing, I call it a lot of different names, but it's really, in a sense, it's a rebirth of a country because.
And there was another video of him talking about it. If I could find it. Is this it right here? Yeah, right here. If you can hear this one, it's hard to hear on these plane videos. Yeah, I don't know if we can hear this. In a way, it's a fourth term. 2020 was rigged, so it's actually a fourth term. I just don't want credit for the second. Biden was so bad. So yeah, so that's perfect way of answering it right there and dealing with it. But yeah, the audio was so bad. There's no point in me trying to play it. But Trump said, in a way, it's a fourth term. 2020 was rigged, so it's actually a fourth term. I just don't want credit for the second. Biden was so bad. Oh, man. Let's see. Andrew says, I am in Canada, and we hate you all now. We want nothing from you. Okay. Well, why are you here? Just curious. Why are you here? If you don't want anything to do with us, why are you here in this stream? You clearly want something to do with us because you're watching this stream. Ain't nobody watching somebody in Canada right now. I'm in the great state of Florida, baby. And it's actually, I actually have no, it's not Canada the problem I have. It's the leadership in Canada. Fucking horrifically bad. Now, you got a bunch of lefties out there, no doubt, for sure. But to be fair, we even have some weirdos in the great state of Florida. Right here, I saw this clip today of this guy, apparently from Florida. I haven't watched the video yet, but I did bookmark it. I can't believe this is real. If this is legit, here we go.
I am a proud soy boy. I am a 6'5" vegetarian, powered almost exclusively by tofu and soy.
This has got to be an Alex Stein situation. This has got to be an Alex Stein primetime 99.
My milk. I'm the guy bringing Beyond Burgers to the barbecue. And yet, despite what this bill seems to imply, Big agriculture does not need protection from big, scary soy boys like me. I mean, look at me. I'm basically the Jolly Green Giant. The free market is supposed to let consumers decide what they want to eat. But apparently, big ag needs the state government to step in and make sure no one confuses an oat milk latte for cow milk. And while we're at it, let's talk about the fluoride ban. Fluoridated water is one of the most successful public health initiatives of all time. Are we really saying that the water is too woke now? That we need to give kids cavities to own the libs? Banning fluoride isn't...
I don't know. Breaking 911 is who put this out. I don't know if this is legit or not, but it seems like a troll.
Policymaking. It's pandering to conspiracy theorists. At the end of the day, HB 651 isn't about protecting consumers. It's about protecting your buddies in big agriculture, using the power of the state to prop up their profits. So go ahead and make your jokes about soy boys and woke water, but let's not pretend that this bill is anything other than corporate handouts wrapped in tinfoil hat logic.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a troll or not. What's the comment saying? I don't know. People don't seem to think it's a troll, so maybe it's not. I'm not sure. Listen, unfortunately, there are some weirdos in even Florida. There's even some weirdos here in Florida. But I mean, you had this right here. Like, I saw this on End Wokeness. Oh, by the way, Willie Will in the house. What's up, Willie Will, with 20 gifted memberships. Willie freaking Will, everybody. Thank you, brother. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. I appreciate you, man. As everybody in the chat does. Thank you, Willie freaking Will. I saw this earlier. A fake company set up a fake art show in New York City and nobody noticed it was satire. So a fake company set up a fake art show and nobody knew it was satire because these people are so freaking stupid. I see you, Willie Will. Hold it on, brother. We're right there with you. This is amazing.
The world requires you!
Somebody in the chat said he's single, ladies. So there we go. I love the internet. I love the internet. Dark Schwartz Rising says our White House press secretary is a snack. Agreed. Chris for 20 says, did you see Salty Cracker's survival tips video? It's very informative. I didn't, but I will check it out. I love Salty. Salty Cracker, the Salty Army. Hail to the Salty Army. Make-A-Wish Mo for $1. Thank you. Dude Wipes 3PO for $1. Shadow Santa says justice for Jeremy. Fantastic is Not says the best Fords are the ones that has a Barra block. Ministry of Wrong Things says Grums has a bad case of main character syndrome, but 99.9% of people screaming about his unfinished game never heard of it before. They hated him. This is true. Subway J for $1. Mr. No One for a $1.99. Alex McCarthy, enter code 199. Meta PCs 199, everybody. Just a dude on a phone says modern vehicles suck. You don't have to read them all, but 1978 F-250. Yeah, you got a lot there. But yeah, you've got the Dodge Business Coupe with a 331 Hemi, a 331 Hemi. 93 Explorer. Yeah, I mean, I don't. That's why, like, the whole, like, even my truck, my Denali, it has like the whole thing where you stay in the lanes or whatever, and I rarely use it. I don't like using it. I remember the first time that I ever got into a vehicle and that was automatically turned on because I rented a vehicle, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I'm trying to change lanes, and this whole thing is like vibrating at me. I'm like, this is freaking me out. I don't like when a vehicle shows that it has control over me. That's what Teslas have. Teslas, like, literally the thing that scares me about Tesla is I could see in the future one day, like, maybe you, I don't know, maybe you didn't return your library books, and so your Tesla is like, we're driving you straight to the library so you can return your library books. I know I'm aging myself when I do that, but the theory behind it is it freaks me out when the vehicle can drive you everywhere. I don't like that at all. Ministry of Wrong Thing says this is why AI art is valid. Your Barmy says ice block caught a stray. The Force Geek says, is that fake art house by guy Ryan Kennel? Johnny the Wizkid says, I decided on what classic car I want. A Thunderbird, either 66 or 67. Though I understand its safety risk, is it possible to upgrade with what cars have today? Like airbags, trumble zones. I mean, you can, with money, you can do anything. You can modernize any old school car with anything that a new car has if you have the money. Just depends on how much money you want to put into it. Let me see. Jeremy doesn't use turn signals. Sometimes. When I have to, like when I know people are around me. But let's see here. Elon will provide a toilet for Jeremy and his Tesla. That will silence Jeremy's fears. You know. Imagine the next time the police put a warrant out on you and your car takes you right to the station. Exactly. I don't think the only reason I would own a Tesla is to own the libs at this point, which means I'm probably never going to own a Tesla. That would be the only reason I would do that. Okay, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut this a little short. And again, but my mom's having some issues. I'll just be transparent. So I'm going to have to look into that. So I have to cut this short. So I do apologize for having to cut it short, but I've got to tend to some family business. So I hope you guys have a great evening. I appreciate everybody. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the super chats. AJ, you're the front runner. If Sydney Sweeney hits me up, I will definitely let her know that you sent the biggest super chat of the night, and I'll let her know you're the front runner, AJ. So there you go. So anyway, David says people watch this mofo. Honestly, David, hang on. Honestly, David, I don't know why either. Me and you are on agreement. I don't know why anybody watches me. Chat, do you guys know why you watch me? Like, seriously. Why the fuck would anybody watch this show? It's not good. I'm pretty retarded. And, yeah, so. But you're technically somebody in the chat's right, though. You're watching, David. The fuck's wrong with you? Let me ask you, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you watching? Not only are you watching me, you commented. So what does that say about you, David? Explain yourself. What a fucking idiot. Like, how stupid are you? Dougie B, you brainwashed us. I try my best. Thank you, Dougie B. Eric K says mods are forced to watch. This is true. I watch because this is a professional production. That is true. It is. Let me see. Judicon says you have one mother, take care of her. Thank you, Judicon. I appreciate it. I will say I'm pretty annoyed with the healthcare industry right now. I think we had a DEI hire. So we're trying, my mom has surgery coming up in a few weeks, and we're trying to get the surgery moved up. And we tried to put a request in to have it moved up. And they didn't put priority on the request. So the request got denied, and we found out that they didn't put priority on it. I'm just giving you the information I had. I don't know how all this works. So there's some frustration with the fact that priority was not put on the request. And so I don't know if it was a fucking DEI hire or whatever. But that's very, very, very frustrating. So Eric K got that one. Grant Potato says, I want you to feel better about my life. There you go. Damn right. That's what I'm talking about. Madney says, I watch to see if Jeremy's eyebrows will grow. The suspense is killing me. Thank you. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Anonymous says, my mom has surgery tomorrow. Luckily, they caught it early. Prayers up for your mom, brother. Prayers up indeed. Aaron James says, tell your mom the snake pit prayers for her. You too, brother. Good on you for taking care of your mom. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, I got to make a pretty immediate cut here, guys. So thank you. I hope you guys have a great evening, and we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.